Sometimes you have a number, maybe a number like this, and you want to round it up or down to the nearest whole number. Or you don't like all these decimal places and you just want to round it up or down and only have 2 decimal places in your number. So in this tutorial, I will show you how to do exactly that. So in our first module over here, we have a number. And this is a bit of a simplified scenario. So over here we have our number, right? But this number can come from any kind of integration, any kind of module. Maybe you get it from a Google Sheet module, or maybe you get it from like a Slack channel. Maybe you get the number from your shopping cart integration. Doesn't matter, we're getting the number. This is just an example. And then we run around this number up or down. So our number is 5.28397. So there are 5 decimal places in this number. So the first thing I want to try is I want to round the number up to the nearest whole number, no matter if this is lower or above it. So 5 or 6 in this case. I just want it to go to the nearest number. So to do that, I'm going to create a function in another module. And also this function you can also use in any kind of module. This set variable module is just an example. So over here, we're going to build our function. So we click in here in the field and then we're going over to the math functions. So you click over here and then the function we're looking for is the round function. So this, it already says it over there. This will round a number value to the nearest integer. And that also gives some examples. So we drag this in here. You can also just click it. And then over here, we go back to the star. And then over here, we're going to map the number from the previous module. So we have this over here. I'm going to click save. I'm going to click save here as well. And I'll click here run once to test our scenario. So then over here you see now we have this number that did of course not change because that's just set there. And then over here what it did now, it says the rounded number is 5. Because the nearest whole number of 5.28397 is of course 5 and not 6. But maybe you also have a specific use case where you always want to basically round the number that is lower to the current number basically. So what you could do then is you can use a different function. So we go back over to the math functions. And then over here we have a function called floor. And floor returns the largest integer less than or equal to the specified number. And then it also gives some examples. So over here we have floor. And then we go back to our star. We again insert the number. I click save here again. Click run once, and then you'll see now, so we have here 5.28397. Now yeah, then the nearest number that is lower or equal to this number is, of course, going to be 5. Now the opposite of a floor here is ceil. So ceil, it also explains it here, ceil returns the smallest integer greater than or equal to the specified number. So we have ceil. We put this in here and then I click save again, click run once. And then you see now that it returns 6 because the nearest whole number that is bigger than this number, so not smaller, bigger, is of course going to be 6. So that is how you round a number up or down. So either just to the nearest whole number or specifically to the number above it or below it basically. But what if you want to round the number up or down, but then want to reduce basically the amount of decimals? So over here we have 5 decimal places, right? And then we want to reduce this by 3 so that we have 2 decimal places. So what we're going to do then is we have our number. So we say here number. And then what I want to do is I want to have 2 decimal places, right? So first I do here, I go to the math functions and I say here multiplication. Multiplication 100. Now, this is not it yet, but let me show you what it does then. So we click here save, click run once, and then you see that our number here, 5.28397, over here became 528.397. Now that's important because then we want to divide this number. So first we're going to round this number. So I'm going to copy this. So I click here, Command or Control C. I remove this. I go here to the math functions, I go to round, and then I paste this in here. I click save, and then we're still not there completely, but first I want to show you what happens again. So then you see now that it became 528, and then we're gonna divide that number by 100. So click save again, click run once, and then you see now that this number, 5.28397, became 5.28. Because if we want to round this up, you see that 3 is closer to 28. If we would change this number, for example, let's say here to 9, then this should change to 29, right? Let's see if it also works. Click save. So here we have the number, and then you see now that it rounded the number to only have 2 decimal places, and it rounded it up to 5.29. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. If you also want to learn how to generate random numbers, then take a look at this tutorial over here. It's also very handy for all kinds of different things.